Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump right on in here. We do have a couple updates to share with you guys in regards to the upcoming potential severe risks for the region. First and foremost, the risk for tomorrow, Friday, exists still for Illinois as well as Wisconsin there. Looking at our hazards, the only real concern here is going to be wind and hail. There's really no uh, giant risk tomorrow for a tornado. It's just a very small risk area out in far western Illinois. So it should just be some isolated severe weather later on the evening for you guys out there in Illinois and Wisconsin, which is great news. Next risk comes in for Saturday. We've been watching this more so over the past couple of days, and this is looking still to be the case where we're going to be looking at multiple areas here getting in on the risk here for severe weather up from Michigan down to Wisconsin, Illinois, parts of Indiana as well. Ohio looks to be safe for right now, but still watch that western and northern part by Toledo, those areas up there. That could be shifted a little bit further east, in my opinion, based on previous models. But right now, the risk is centered over the Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois area. Hazards for Saturday are going to be all hazards, meaning tornadoes, wind, and hail. I do believe hail is going to be the primary threat. Wind is going to be a secondary threat. And I think tornadoes will be a third threat. It's going to be very dependent further east in Michigan as well as parts of Indiana there. The risk further to the east there is going to be dependent on if we have a cap in place. So the atmospheric cap is going to basically put a lid, or is expected right now, to kind of hold the atmosphere down from producing severe weather. So if that cap can hold, it'd be mainly just a hail risk for those areas. But if that cap can break at that point, we'd be concerned for damaging winds as well as potential for a couple of tornadoes possible across the region. The highest risk for this does still appear to be over in Wisconsin, Illinois, as well as northern Michigan, but we do want to highlight that risk. It could be extended further east, in my opinion. If that cap can break, it'd be definitely an interesting day to watch there for Saturday. Then also for Sunday, we do have a severe risk in place once again here for Illinois, Wisconsin. I do think that gets extended further to the east here, looking at models and stuff like that. The environment looks really good all across parts of Michigan there as well. Go ahead and jump into that right now, actually. But right now, Sunday is another day to watch here out in Illinois and Wisconsin. And then after that, kind of Monday just kind of tapers off just a bit. Watching Monday close, but no risk right now that we're kind of no risk for Monday right now that we're watching. So jumping into our model here, we do have the NAM model in range, giving us a better idea of what to expect on Saturday, but also now Sunday too. So we're going to be looking at this overlap of wind shear instability here. We see the coloration showing us where that best overlap happens. Here's Friday out in Western Illinois. There's your environment shifts over later on the evening. That is why we have a low risk out there in Western Illinois. Moving into Saturday, though, we're going to see that area shift all the way into Wisconsin, most all of Michigan there, even parts of Ohio getting in on that risk, or not risk, but the environment that supports severe weather, and then also Indiana and Illinois. The only issue with further to the east into Ohio and eastern Michigan is there's going to be a lack of trigger for storms, what we call forcing. And number two, that cap we mentioned earlier is going to be in place there, which could hold the atmosphere down. So overall news for Saturday is basically the highest risk still further off into Wisconsin, Illinois. Northern Michigan looks to be in a pretty good area as well, but further east into Ohio, eastern Michigan, eastern Indiana, stuff like that, I don't expect that to have as much confidence. But if that cap can break, we'll have some chances of severe weather, including potential for damaging winds as well as a tornado, but only if that cap can actually break and we get storms up and going. So that's going to be a big question. We're not going to be able to answer that, but I can tell you up here further in Wisconsin, Illinois areas, that's more likely to happen. Going back to the risk area for Saturday, there is your slight risk, level 2 out of 5, northern Michigan, back through southern Wisconsin, back through north central Illinois, and then a marginal level 1 risk in dark green from about Flint down towards Coldwater, down towards Gary, Indiana, towards Champaign, Illinois, and also the UP of Michigan in that, as well as northern Wisconsin. So as of right now, we're only looking at a couple of threats here for the region, 3 threats back to back. Monday doesn't look to be too significant, but we're watching that as well. But back to the model here for Sunday, we do see that return. This is Saturday, back into Sunday. We see a return of a decent warm front on Sunday here across Michigan and Wisconsin. We'll have to watch that closely. We're not too concerned yet for Sunday, but it does bear some watching just because we're getting the first couple of models coming in here that are showing us potential for a good environment there across Michigan and Wisconsin for a potential day two risk there on Sunday. So, pop out the conversation here. What's up, Chris, Jeannie, Devin, Anita, Kevin? What's up, guys? What day should Indiana watch for tornadoes? So the good news for Indiana right now is you're kind of sandwiched between all these risks. So tomorrow's risk is off to your west. Just gonna be some general storms for you. Nothing severe is expected there in Indiana. And then also for Friday down here in Indiana, the only place in a risk is going to be up here towards the Gary, South Bend, up towards Lake Michigan, those areas there. Otherwise, the next risk is off to your west again. So right now, I'm going to say watch Sunday. But again, this risk does appear to be missing most of Indiana. So that's great news for you guys. Same goes for Ohio, too. If you're watching from Ohio, you're kind of sandwiched between all these threats here. So we're watching you guys. But right now, the risk is off to your north and west. It does say strong storms for us Saturday. It does not actually. I think there's a chance of some storms, just general storms. I think severe is going to hold off to your north and west there, Jeannie. Good morning, Kim. Yes, John, Mid-Michigan is parts of Mid-Michigan are in a slight risk here, level 2 risk for Saturday. So yes. But yep, I don't see Indiana or Ohio as big days to watch anymore. I think this threat is kind of settled off to your guys' west and north. So if you're watching from Ohio, Indiana areas, you guys should be, at least as of right now, out of the main areas of concern. John, it is interesting you ask that because I do think there's a chance that the slight risk may get shifted further to the east based on latest models. But again, there's some uncertainty there with how much we're going to call capping inversion, which is basically putting a lid on the atmosphere. If that happens, storms are going to struggle to go up. So that's why you don't have a higher risk further to the east. If we get more confidence in that cap breaking, I could see a slight risk being extended further east and south through central and eastern Michigan there as well. But right now, we're going to hold it with that cap there. Should keep everything in check. Possible, Eric. Possible. I don't think it's a huge threat there, Devin, for Sunday. I really don't. I think you're going to be good. What's up, Ronald from Michigan? No problem, Renee. If you guys got questions, feel free to drop those in chat. I'll do my best to answer. But otherwise, that's all I got to share with you guys. Kind of recapping everything real quick. Tomorrow, risk for Illinois, parts of Wisconsin as well. Storms possible for Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin. Main severe threat off to the west. That's only for Illinois there and parts of Wisconsin. Saturday, the day to watch. Level 2 risk, slight risk extends all the way up into Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois there. But again, Indiana, Ohio missing out on this threat as well as eastern Michigan. We'll see if that shifts. Unlikely to shift too much though. And then on Sunday, another risk out for Illinois that could be extended, I think, further to a little bit east across parts of Wisconsin and maybe even Michigan as well, similar to what we're seeing for Saturday's outlook. So you're good, Devin, I know. But for right now, I do think you're going to be fine. I really do. Eastern Ohio, Scott, I don't see Ohio getting in on any of these threats. It's going to stay off to your west and north. So fortunately, I mean, Ohio's been hit hard this year. So fortunately, looks to be a break in this particular pattern that we're in. So that's great news for Ohio. Any idea what we can expect for storms in downriver area for Saturday? At this point, just general storms and rain for you. Okay. But like I said before, though, we're watching that capping inversion closely. If that cap can break, if storms can lift through that and break that cap, we could see a risk of severe weather get extended further east into your area. But confidence right now is quite low because we're looking for that main trigger to get these storms up. It's definitely higher off to the west. Further east you go, the storms look to have weaker lift and stuff like that. So we're not entirely sure if that cap is going to break further east. But if it does have more, if you do have more confidence into tonight, tomorrow, we could see a risk get extended further east. So All right, down to about 12 minutes or so. That is your overall synopsis. Next couple of days, we'll go live again tomorrow. Dennis, not seeing that right now, although we'll update that if we see anything. But right now, Ohio does look to kind of miss these, which is great news considering the active period Ohio's been in. So, yeah, Devin, I think you're fine. I really do. Anita, it'd be more so late afternoon into early evening timing for these storms for you in eastern Michigan, perhaps a bit later on the evening as well. All right, I'm going to hop off here. We got another live stream to do for the Michigan page, so I'm going to hop on that, and then we'll be kicking out some updates for the day. So with that being said, stay tuned to the pages here. We'll go live again tomorrow at some point to update you guys. As well, we do have a couple chasers going out to chase West Illinois, the Plains, Arkansas, Missouri, those areas. We have some chasers going out, so we'll be live potentially with coverage on those storms. But overall, pay attention if you are in Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, as well as northern Indiana. Otherwise, Ohio and southern Indiana do look to get out of these threats. But if that changes, we'll update you guys. With that being said, you guys stay safe and you guys have a awesome day.